Sajjadov, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, working at Pushpadevi Patil Arts and Science College, Risod. Today we are going to see BSc Second Year's Unit 4 Stereochemistry. In this chapter, we are going to see introduction about the stereochemistry. Stereochemistry deals with the study of spatial arrangement of atoms in a molecule in a three-dimensional space around it. Suppose we are having an example of methane in which carbon is the central atom. Okay, carbon is the central atom and four hydrogens are placed around it in a sp3 hybridization, right? So all the four hydrogens are arranged spatially in a three-dimensional space around the carbon. Okay, and the study of these four carbons or their arrangement, it comes under the study known as stereochemistry. Okay, so for a detailed study of the stereochemistry, we must know something basic about the stereochemistry, and that's what we are going to see today. That is, let's begin with isomerism. Okay, what is isomerism? The compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their physical and chemical properties are called as isomers, and the phenomenon is known as isomerism. So this is the definition you have to write whenever you have been asked in the exam to write the definition of the isomerism or the isomer. Just keep in mind same molecular formula but different chemical and physical properties. Okay, so what are the types of isomerism? Isomerism are classified into two types. One is structural isomerism and second is stereoisomerism. Okay, the stereoisomerism we have to see in this chapter, but before that we have to see what is isomerism, types of isomerism, again subdivision of the structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. So out of that structural isomerism we are going to start. Structural isomers are also known as constitutional isomers. Okay, structure means there is something arranged, and constitutional is again the same thing, how the molecule is going to get constitutes. Okay, so this type of isomerism comes under the class structural or constitutional isomerism. Okay, so the compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula are said to be structural or constitutional isomerism. What is peculiar about this thing? Molecular formula same but structural formulas are different, and these type of isomers are called as structural or constitutional isomers, and the phenomenon is known as structural or constitutional isomerism. Okay, every time the phenomenon is known as isomerism, and the definition says that it is the isomer. Okay, what is the thing which we have to keep in mind about structural isomerism? Molecular formula same but structural formula different. Okay, so this is how the structural or constitutional isomers are there. Okay, the structural isomerism is further subdivided into three types. Okay, which is divided into three types. One is chain isomerism, second is functional group isomerism, and third is positional isomerism. So all these three names suggest itself what is the difference in the isomerism that we have to see when studying the subtypes of the structural isomerism. Chain isomerism, there is difference in the chain. Functional group isomerism, there is a change in the or the difference in the functional group. Positional isomerism means there is a change in the position of something, right? So that we are going to see in details about. Okay, so first we start about the chain isomerism. So in chain isomerism, molecules having same molecular formula but difference in the carbon chain skeleton are said to be chain isomerism, and the phenomenon is known as chain isomerism. Okay, so chain isomers and chain isomerism, they are having same molecular formula. All these isomers we are going to see, they are having the same molecular formula, but where the difference is that says what type of isomerism is. Okay, so here same molecular formula but difference in the carbon chain skeleton. Okay, now see the molecular example. In example we will get more clear about this isomerism. Molecular formula C4H10. Okay, and the example is N-butyl, CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3 N-butane, and another example is CH3 CH CH3 CH3. Okay, so both the two compounds are having how many carbons? Let's begin with N-butane. 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbons, so C4, right? And how many hydrogens are there? 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus 3 10. Okay, so this is having C4H10 formula. Okay, now move over to the isobutane. 3 hydrogens plus 3 hydrogens plus 3 hydrogens, 9 plus 1 10, right? So hydrogen 10 are there. Now carbon 1 2 3 and 4, so 4 carbon are also there. So both the compounds are having same molecular formula. Here it is molecular formula C4H10, but one is the straight chain and another is the branch chain, right? This is the chain and here is the branch to it, or this is the chain and here is the branch to it, right? So this is the branch structure, this is the straight chain structure. So name of this compound is N-butane and name of this compound is isobutane. So this is how chain isomerism is occur in the N-butane and isobutane, and these two are the isomers. Which isomers? Chain isomers of one another. Okay, chain isomers are one another because there is difference in the chain, carbon chain skeleton, right? So another example of this type is C5H12. Okay, molecular formula C5H12. It is pentane, right? 5 means pentane, 4 means butane. So here 5 number of carbons are there, so it is a pentane. Okay, so first example is N-pentane, right? N-pentane. Again we have to see how many carbons are there. 1 2 3 4 and 5, so C5 is there. Now we have to see how many hydrogens are there in N-pentane. CH3 means 3 hydrogens, here 2 hydrogens, here 2 hydrogens, total 7 plus 2 8 9 plus 3 10 11 and 12. So H12 are also there. Okay, so the compound is N-pentane. Here is the only straight chain. Okay, then example is neopentane. Okay, neopentane. 3 plus 3 6 plus 3, yes, 9 plus 3 12. So 12 hydrogens are there. Now carbon 1 2 3 4 and 5. So 5 carbon are also there, but these two structures are differ in their carbon chain skeleton. So these are the chain isomer of one another. Okay, this carbon is centrally placed and then 4 hydrogens are placed in sp3 hybridization around this carbon. Now the next example is isopentane. Okay, next isomer is isopentane. So here again just we have to calculate the number of carbons here. 1 2 3 4 and 5 carbons are there. Now the hydrogens 3 plus 3 6 plus 1 7 plus 2 9 plus 3 12. So 12 hydrogen are also there. Okay, so it is also having the formula C5H12, but the arrangement of the chain are different in all the three structures. Here CH3 is attached to CH, then CH is again attached to CH3, on one side it is attached to CH2, and then this CH2 is attached to CH3. So all these compounds are having different structure depending on their chain. Okay, here it is the straight chain, here it is the more branch chain, here it is the little less branch chain. Okay, here in the chain 3 carbons are there, here in the chain 5 carbons are there, and here in the chain 4 carbons are there, and to which one CH3 group is attached. So these are the 3 examples of the chain isomerism, and these are the chain isomers of one another. Okay, N-pentane, neopentane and isopentane. Always when here this letter is present, N for straight chain, NEO for neo, ISO for ISO, always write this type of names in italics. Okay, so this is the IUPAC nomenclature. By IUPAC nomenclature we have to write these all these prefixes by italic letters. Okay, neo should be italic, N should be italic, and ISO should be italic. Likewise in the aromatic compounds also, when we are going to write alpha, beta and delta, alpha, beta and meta position, alpha, beta and meta it is ortho, meta and para positions, right? So my mistake was there. Ortho, meta and para positions are there. They also we have to write in italics. Okay, they are prefixes and we have to write it in italics. Okay, the next type of functional group isomerism. Okay, the next type is functional group isomerism, and this comes under structural isomerism or constitutional isomerism. First we have seen chain isomerism, now next is functional group isomerism. Again, Molecules having the same molecular formula but difference in functional group are said to be functional group isomers, and the phenomenon is said to be functional group isomerism. Okay, here again having compounds having same molecular formula but difference in the functional group, so it comes under the functional group isomerism because there is difference in the functional group. Now the example is molecular formula C2H5OH. okay, C2H5OH, we can write C2H5OH in two types, in two ways. okay, CH3CH2OH. OH means alcohol, CH3CH2 means ethyl, so ethyl alcohol. okay, again here 1 2 2 carbons, hydrogens 3 plus 2 plus 1 6, 5 plus 1 6, and oxygen 1, right? Oxygen 1. The next the isomer of ethyl alcohol is CH3O CH3, that is dimethyl ether, right? Dimethyl ether. When two carbon groups are attached to oxygen, the compound is ether. okay, so on the both the sides of the oxygen are two methyl groups, so dimethyl ether, right? Here carbon 1 2, right? Two carbons, hydrogens 3 plus 3 6, 5 plus 1 6, again oxygen 1 oxygen 1. So these two are the functional group isomers of each other because there is change in the difference in the functional groups of the both the molecules, but they are having the same molecular formula, that is C2H5OH, but different functional group. Here the functional group is OH and here the functional group is O. OH is alcohol and O is ether. okay, right? So next example of this type is molecular formula C2H5OH. we have seen. Again the same example I have taken, so no need to see it in details. The next type is positional isomerism. okay, positional isomerism. Now again we are going to see the details about it. Molecules having same molecular formula but difference in the attachment of the same group to the chain at different position is said to be positional isomers, and the phenomenon is positional isomerism. Again we are going to see the examples and then we are going to get about this thing. okay, by the definition it's bit difficult to understand the thing, but by example we can see it in details and you will going to get it more clear view about this functional positional isomerism. okay, now the molecular formula in the example is C3H8O. C3H8O. Now look at the example, propyl alcohol, CH3 CH2 CH2OH. Count the carbon, 1 2 3, 3 carbons are there, right? 3 carbons are there. Now the hydrogens, 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus 1 8, so 8 hydrogens are there and 1 oxygen, so 1 oxygen is also there. okay, so it is obeying the formula C3H8O. okay, but this is the example propyl alcohol, CH3 CH2 CH2OH. now isopropyl alcohol. Now count the carbons, 1 2 3 carbons, right? Now count the hydrogens, 3 plus 3 6 plus 1 7 plus 1 8, so 8 hydrogens are there and 1 oxygen is also there, so it is also obeying the formula C3H8O, but the name is isopropyl alcohol. okay, here the functional group are same, right? Here in this both the examples functional group are same, that is the alcohol, both are the alcohols, right? But the arrangement of alcohol is different in both the compounds. okay, here it is attached to a straight chain and here it is attached to the middle carbon of the straight chain, right? So here is the difference in the position of the OH group. okay, these are having the same functional group, right? Both are having the same functional group, that is OH, that is alcohol, but the position of the OH group is different. okay, here it is attached to a straight chain and here it is attached to the middle carbon of the chain, so this is the isopropyl alcohol. okay, and this is the example of positional isomerism. okay, now getting the definition, same molecular formula but difference in the attachment of the same group to the chain at different position, same group at different positions, right? Another example of this type is C8H10. okay, C8H10. again here the example is orthoxylene, orthoxylene, 2 CH3 group attached to one another, ortho to one another, right? So orthoxylene, again 2 CH3 group attached to aromatic ring at meta position, ortho, this is ortho position, this is meta position, so metaxylene. Then again in this example this is paraxylene, so one is attached to one carbon and another attached to the opposite carbon of it in a aromatic ring. So this is the ortho position, this is the meta position, and this is the para position. So this is paraxylene, orthoxylene, metaxylene and paraxylene. So these are the three examples in which again the molecular formula is C8H10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, this 7 and this 8 carbons are there. Then hydrogen 3 plus 3 6, 7 8 9 and 10. So 10 carbons are 10 hydrogens are there and 8 carbons are there, but the position of the CH3 group on the same molecule, every one of these examples having CH3 groups, right, attached to different positions. So CH3 groups, these are having, all are having same molecular formula, but the same group is attached at different position. Okay, the CH3 is attached at different position. Here it is ortho, here it is meta, and here it is para. So all these three are the positional isomers of one another, and the phenomenon which occurs in them, this isomerism, is positional isomerism. This is how we have seen the three types of the structural or constitutional isomerism. Now stereoisomerism. Okay, now in the stereoisomerism, first type we have cleared the structural or constitutional isomerism. There are two types of isomerism: structural or constitutional or stereoisomerism. Okay, so constitutional or structural isomerism we have seen. There are three types we have seen. Now we are moving to stereoisomerism. Okay, these have the same molecular formula. Again here also the same molecular formula and the same structure, they are having same molecular formula but same structure and same structure too, but difference in the configuration, that is the arrangement of their atoms in a space. Okay, this is how we have seen in the definition. Okay, stereochemistry deals with the study of spatial arrangement of the atoms of a molecule in a three-dimensional space. Okay, here the atoms are attached at different positions in the molecules in a three-dimensional structure. Okay, so here we need a bit imagination to understand the stereoisomerism. Okay, so stereoisomerism again is divided into two types. One is geometrical isomerism and second is optical isomerism. Okay, don't get bothered about the thing. As we are moving ahead, we are going to see in details about the stereoisomerism, and you are going to understand the thing stereoisomerism. Okay, so don't get panic over here. How the atoms in a molecule gets arranged in three-dimensional, and how can we imagine and all. Okay, we are going to see it, and after the completion of this stereoisomerism, you are going to understand how stereoisomerism is there in the compounds or the molecules. Okay, so first is geometrical isomerism. Okay, geometrical isomerism is also called conformational isomerism, cis-trans isomerism or EZ isomerism. Okay, EZ isomerism, this all the 3-4 names are of the same isomerism: geometrical, conformational, cis-trans or EZ isomerism. Okay, here now we are going to see the definition of this. Molecules having same molecular formula but have a difference in geometrical structures. Okay, geometrical structures are said to be geometrical, conformational, cis-trans or EZ isomers. Sorry, here it should be isomers, and the phenomenon is known as isomerism. Okay, now the example, see, cis-butane, this is alkene as double bond is present, so 4 carbons are there, so but, and this double bond is there, so ene, alkene, ene, so this ene comes over here, so this is butene. And suppose in this example, this is the double bond and one CH3 group is attached over here and another CH3 group is attached over here, and both are having coming towards you, right? This group is coming towards you, this group is also coming towards you. So this is cis-butene or Z-butene, cis-butene or Z-butene. Now another example is trans-butene. Here what happens? One group is coming towards you and one group is coming towards me. This CH3 is coming towards you and this CH3 attached to double bond coming towards me. So this is the trans-butene. If you see it in three-dimensional space, these two groups are coming towards you. Now one is coming towards you and one is coming towards me. So there is the difference in the geometry in the three-dimensional space, right? So this comes under the class stereoisomerism, and out of this stereoisomerism, it is comes under the geometrical conformational cis trans or EZ isomerism. Okay, so one example is Z butene, Z2 butene, and another example is E2 butene. Okay, one is coming towards you, one is coming towards me. Okay, now another example of this type is C2H5, C2H5. Okay, instead of these hydrogens here we are replace it with C2H5. Okay, so how many carbons are there in a chain? 2 plus 1 3 4 5 6, so 6 carbons are there, so it is hexene. Okay, here one E is more. Okay, so it is a mistake, it is hexene because it is chain of 6 carbons, so it is hexene. And to which 1 to third position one is methyl group, and to fourth position another methyl group. Okay, so 3 4 dimethyl 3 hexene. Okay, because the double bond is coming at the between the third and the fourth carbon, so 3, this 3 comes from this 2 plus 1 3 hexene. Okay, the double bond is between third and fourth, so the first number is taken and here 3, not the fourth, so 3 hexene. You can count over from here or here, the position of this carbon is and this carbon are same. One time this is third, this is fourth, and from measuring from this side this is third and this is fourth. Okay, so in both the structures the bond is between third and fourth carbon, so this is 3 hexene. Okay, and 2 methyl groups are attached over to the third and the fourth carbon, so it is 3 4 dimethyl. Again cis here, because so the difference here is in the C2H5. Okay, or the CS3 groups. You can take anything. Suppose we are going to see the in consideration with the C2H5. Okay, in the cis what happens, this CS2H5 group is coming towards you, again the C2H5 group is coming towards me, and both the CS3 groups are coming towards myself, and these are coming C2H5 coming towards yourself. Okay, so this is the cis, because both the CS2 groups are coming towards you. Okay, they are coming towards you. Now in trans what happens, one C2H5 group is coming towards you and one other C2H5 is coming towards me. Okay, one CS3 group is towards you, one CS3 group is towards me. So this is trans alignment. Okay, cis means coming, both are on the same side, and trans means one is on the one side and one other is on the another side. So one is on the your side and another is on my side. Okay, C2H5 or CS3 group. So this is the example of the trans 3 4 dimethyl 3 hexene. Okay, or E 3 4 dimethyl 3 hexene. E and Z. Cis is Z and trans is E. Okay, cis is Z and trans is also known as E. So these two are the examples of the geometrical isomers. Okay, these are two geometrical isomers of one another, and these are also geometrical isomers of one another. Okay, and this comes under the class geometrical or conformational or cis trans or EZ isomerism, which is a subtype of stereoisomerism, right? Stereoisomerism. Now optical isomerism. Okay, stereoisomerism, in which isomers are identical in molecular weight and most chemical and physical properties, but differ in the effect on the rotation of plane polarized light, and the phenomenon is known as optical isomerism. So what is plane polarized light? You have to see it in your books or in your 11th and 12th book. What is plane polarized light? Okay, it is type of light which is when it is passed through a monochromator, you are going to get a single light. That is the main plane polarized light. So you have to see it in details yourself. So what is plane polarized light and how it is going to get distorted or change its path by coming or striking to the chemical compound. So okay, see, if rotation of the plane polarized light, this is the main thing. Okay, rotation of the plane polarized. Now if the rotation is clockwise, in clockwise direction, suppose this is the plane polarized light coming and this is moving in the direction of the clock. Okay, in the direction of the clock, then this is the carbon due to which, or the molecule due to which it is going to change its path from clockwise to the clockwise direction. These are called as dextrorotatory or plus sign. Okay, small d. Dextrorotatory means in the direction of the clock, and if it changes its path after striking to the molecule to the anti-clockwise direction, right? This is clock, this is clockwise direction, this is anti-clockwise direction. Okay, the all the hands, second hand, minute hand and hour hand, they are moving in the clock in this direction. So this is the clockwise direction, and if it moves opposite, then it is the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now see it like this. If this is the plane polarized, right, this is striking to a chemical compound and it moves its parts towards the in the anti-clockwise direction, then such compounds are known as levorotatory, and it is denoted by negative. Okay, at 12 it is 0, then to this side this is positive and this side this is negative, so it is levorotatory, negative sign, or small l, it is dextrorotatory or plus sign, small d. Okay, so the example of this type are s carbon, s minus carbon, or r plus carbon. What is this r and s? We are going to see it in details in next classes. Okay, so don't bother about it here, just keep in mind plus and minus sign of the carbon. This is the structure of the carbon. Okay, when plane polarized light gets strike to this molecule, or this molecule comes in a path of straight plane polarized light, then the plane polarized light rotates its plane from to anti-clockwise direction, so it is signed by negative, or it can be written as L carbon, right, L carbon. And again this is the example here. This dotted line means the group which is attached to that dotted line, they are behind the plane, right. Suppose this is the plane of that molecule and that group is attached to this, like in this direction, because this is in your direction in the screen of the laptop, and the group which is attached to dotted line is going back. Okay, this is back, right. Then in the plus carbon, this is the plane of the molecule and this is coming towards me like this. Okay, above the plane, so this is the plus carbon. And when plane polarized light is striking to the molecule in between this molecule, then it changes its path from this direction to clockwise direction. Okay, rotates its plane from straight plane to clockwise direction, in clockwise direction. It is called as plus carbon or dextrorotatory carbon. This plus can be changed to d, small d. Okay, so this is the examples of the optical isomerism. And then to see this in detail, we have to see the elements of symmetry. Okay, to see the three-dimensional structure of the molecules, we must know about the elements of symmetry. So there are 5 types of elements of symmetry. One is identity, second is plane of symmetry, third is center of symmetry, fourth is axis of symmetry, and fifth is alternating axis of symmetry. So we are going to see in details about all these types of symmetry elements in next classes. Thank you.